Hey there, vital visionaries. Welcome to part 2 of our series on overcoming challenges as an introvert. Today we're diving into a topic that strikes fear in the hearts of many introverts: public speaking. If you've ever felt anxious at the thought of speaking in front of a group, you're not alone. Many of us introverts prefer one-on-one conversations or smaller settings, so being the center of attention in front of an audience can feel like stepping into the spotlight of discomfort. But here's the thing, you can master public speaking without losing your introverted strengths. You don't need to be loud or overly expressive to be effective. In fact, many of the qualities that make you a great listener or a deep thinker are the same qualities that can make you a powerful and impactful speaker. In today's episode, we'll be exploring practical strategies to help you overcome the anxiety of public speaking, ways to harness your introvert strengths, and how to feel more confident when addressing a crowd. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with actionable tips and a new perspective on public speaking, one that doesn't require you to become someone you're not. Let's jump into it. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Why is public speaking so difficult for introverts? If you're someone who gets nervous, tongue-tied, or anxious at the thought of standing in front of a crowd, you're not alone. And there's a reason for that. As introverts, we're naturally wired to feel more comfortable in smaller, quieter environments. We thrive in situations where we can engage in meaningful one-on-one conversations or introspective activities. Public speaking, on the other hand, requires us to step out of that comfort zone and engage with a larger audience, often in a high-energy, high-stakes environment. Public speaking demands that we be on, projecting our voice, engaging with an audience, and holding their attention. For introverts who tend to conserve energy in social settings, this can feel like a huge energy drain. It's like trying to perform a marathon sprint when you're more accustomed to quiet walks in the park. But there's more to it than just energy management. Public speaking often feels vulnerable for introverts because we value deep, thoughtful communication. The idea of standing in front of a group and having to think on our feet while potentially being judged or scrutinized can trigger a lot of anxiety. We fear making mistakes, losing our train of thought, or not being able to fully express ourselves in the moment. Another challenge is that public speaking often involves an element of performance. As introverts, we don't naturally seek the spotlight, so the idea of performing can feel forced and unnatural. We may feel like we have to put on a persona or be more extroverted than we really are, which creates an additional layer of discomfort. But here's the important thing to remember. You don't have to change who you are to be a great public speaker. In fact, many of the qualities that make you an introvert, like thoughtfulness, careful planning, and a deep sense of empathy, are the same qualities that can make you a powerful speaker. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about learning how to tap into your natural strengths and use them to connect with your audience. When I was first asked to give a presentation in front of a large group, I was terrified. The idea of speaking in front of so many people made me feel incredibly anxious. I spent days rehearsing, trying to memorize every word and imagining all the things that could go wrong. When the day finally came, I was so focused on being perfect that I ended up stumbling over my words and forgetting some of the key points I wanted to make. After that experience, I realized something important. Public speaking isn't about perfection, it's about connection. Once I shifted my mindset from trying to perform perfectly to simply focusing on connecting with the audience, everything changed. I started to feel more comfortable in my own skin and more confident in sharing my message, even if I wasn't flawless. Now that we understand why public speaking can be so challenging for introverts, let's talk about how to overcome that anxiety. One of the biggest hurdles is learning how to calm your nerves before stepping on stage or speaking in front of a group. Here are some strategies that have helped me and many other introverts manage public speaking anxiety. 1. breathe deeply and ground yourself. One of the most effective ways to calm your nerves is through deep breathing. Before you speak, take a few moments to focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. This helps slow your heart rate, relaxes your body, and brings you into the present moment. Grounding exercises can also be helpful. If you feel anxious, try pressing your feet firmly into the floor or touching a physical object like a pen or the podium. This can help anchor you in the present and reduce feelings of nervousness. 2. Visualize success. Another powerful tool is visualization. Before your presentation, take some time to visualize yourself succeeding. Imagine yourself speaking confidently, the audience responding positively, and everything going smoothly. Visualization primes your mind for success and helps reduce the fear of failure. 3. Prepare thoroughly, but don't over-rehearse. As introverts, we tend to be planners, which is a huge advantage in public speaking. Make sure you're well prepared, know your material inside and out, and practice delivering it. However, don't over-rehearse to the point where you sound robotic or feel stressed about remembering every word. Instead, focus on understanding the key points you want to communicate and trust yourself to speak naturally. 4. Reframe your mindset. It's about connection, not performance. One of the biggest shifts you can make is to reframe your mindset around public speaking. Instead of seeing it as a performance where you're being judged, view it as an opportunity to connect with your audience. You're not there to be perfect, you're there to share valuable information, tell a story, or inspire your listeners. When you focus on the message you want to convey and how it will impact your audience, the pressure to perform perfectly starts to fade. 5. Start small and build confidence. If public speaking feels overwhelming, start small. Speak in front of smaller groups, or even practice with friends or family members. Each time you do it, you'll build more confidence, and gradually speaking in front of larger audiences will start to feel more manageable. By using these techniques, deep breathing, visualization, preparation, and mindset shifts, you can significantly reduce your public speaking anxiety. Remember, nerves are normal, but they don't have to control you. Now let's talk about how you can play to your introvert strengths when it comes to public speaking. You don't have to adopt an extroverted style to be effective. In fact, some of the best public speakers are introverts who have learned how to harness their natural qualities. Here are a few ways you can tap into your introvert strengths to make your public speaking more powerful. 1. Use thoughtfulness to your advantage. One of the hallmarks of being an introvert is our ability to think deeply and reflect on complex ideas. When it comes to public speaking, this can be a huge asset. Instead of rushing through your points, take your time to deliver a thoughtful, well-considered message. Your audience will appreciate the depth and clarity of your ideas. 2. Engage with empathy. Introverts tend to be highly empathetic, which means you're naturally attuned to the emotions and reactions of your audience. Use this empathy to connect with your listeners on a deeper level. Pay attention to how they're responding to your message and adjust your delivery accordingly. This can create a sense of rapport and make your presentation feel more personal. 3. Leverage your listening skills. While public speaking is about delivering a message, it's also about listening. Listening to the energy in the room, the feedback from the audience, and the flow of the conversation. As an introvert, you're likely a great listener, which can help you be more responsive and adaptable during your presentation. Whether it's a Q&A session or simply reading the body language of your audience, your listening skills can enhance your effectiveness as a speaker. 4. Focus on substance over style. Introverts often excel at focusing on substance, the quality of the content, over flashy delivery. You don't need to be overly animated or performative to captivate your audience. Instead, focus on delivering a message that's meaningful and valuable. The strength of your ideas and the clarity of your communication will speak for itself. 5. Use your calm presence as a strength. Many introverts have a naturally calm and grounded presence, which can be a huge asset in public speaking. While some speakers rely on high energy or loudness to engage an audience, you can create a sense of calm authority. Your steady, composed demeanor can help your audience feel more relaxed and open to your message. By playing to your natural introvert strengths, whether it's your thoughtfulness, empathy, or calm presence, you can deliver a powerful and engaging presentation without having to force yourself into an extroverted style. One of the best ways to feel more confident in public speaking is to have a clear, well-structured speech. As introverts, we often feel more comfortable when we have a plan. So let's talk about how to structure your speech for success. Here's a simple yet effective framework you can use to organize your presentation. Start with a strong opening. Your opening is your chance to grab your audience's attention and set the tone for the rest of your speech. You can start with a compelling story, a surprising fact, or a thought-provoking question. The key is to engage your audience right from the start. If you're feeling nervous at the beginning, memorize your opening lines. This gives you a confident start and helps you settle into your speech. Clearly define your main points. Once you've grabbed their attention, clearly outline the main points you'll be covering. Aim for 3 to 5 key points that support your overall message. This helps keep your audience focused and gives them a roadmap for what to expect. Use stories and examples. People connect with stories and real-life examples, so use them to illustrate your points. Whether it's a personal story, an anecdote, or a case study, storytelling makes your presentation more engaging and relatable. As an introvert, storytelling is a great way to connect with your audience without feeling like you're performing. It's about sharing your experiences and lessons in a way that resonates with others. Keep your transitions smooth. Transitions between your points are important for keeping the flow of your speech smooth and cohesive. Use transitional phrases like, "Next, let's talk about," or "This brings us to guide your audience from one point to the next. End with a memorable conclusion. Your conclusion is your chance to leave a lasting impression. Summarize your key points and finish with a strong closing statement that reinforces your message. Whether it's a call to action, an inspiring quote, or a final thought, make sure your conclusion leaves your audience thinking. Just like your opening, memorize your closing lines. It gives you a confident finish and ensures you leave your audience with a strong final impression. By using this simple structure, strong opening, clear main points, engaging stories, smooth transitions, and a memorable conclusion, you'll feel more organized and confident in your delivery. And as an introvert, having this structure in place can give you the security and clarity you need to excel. Now it's time for another interactive Q&A. I asked you on social media what your biggest challenges are when it comes to public speaking as an introvert, and today we're going to address some of those questions. Question 1. I always feel nervous right before I start speaking. How do I calm my nerves in those final moments before I begin? This is such a common experience, and the good news is there are a few techniques that can help calm your nerves right before you start speaking. First, take a few deep breaths. Focus on breathing slowly and deeply to calm your body and mind. Another technique is to ground yourself by feeling your feet on the floor and pressing your hands gently on the podium or a nearby surface. This helps anchor you in the present moment and reduces that feeling of nervousness. Also, remember that nerves are normal. Even experienced speakers get nervous before they begin. The trick is to use that nervous energy to fuel your focus and enthusiasm. Once you get through the first minute or two, your nerves will start to settle. Question 2. How do I keep my audience engaged, especially if I'm not a naturally animated speaker? Great question. You don't have to be overly animated or loud to engage your audience. Instead, focus on delivering value through the substance of your message. People respond to authenticity, so speak in a way that feels natural to you. Using stories and examples is a great way to engage your audience, even if you're not an energetic speaker. When you share personal experiences or relatable stories, your audience will naturally tune in. Also, ask thought-provoking questions throughout your speech to get them thinking and participating. Finally, use pauses effectively. Pausing can create anticipation and give your audience time to reflect on what you've just said. Question 3. I get stuck when I lose my train of thought during a speech. How do I recover when that happens? This happens to everyone at some point, so don't worry if it happens to you. The key to recovering is to pause, breathe, and refocus. If you lose your train of thought, take a moment to pause, collect yourself, and continue from the last point you remember. One technique is to keep a simple outline or cue cards with you during your speech. This way, if you lose your place, you can quickly glance at your notes and get back on track. Remember, it's okay to pause for a moment to gather your thoughts. The audience usually doesn't notice as much as we think they do, and a brief pause can actually add emphasis to your message. I hope these answers help you feel more confident about overcoming some of the challenges that come with public speaking. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Public speaking is all about connecting with your audience and sharing something valuable. Now that we've covered a lot of tips and strategies, let's talk about something that's crucial for improving your public speaking skills: practice and feedback. Practice in front of a mirror or record yourself. One of the best ways to get comfortable with public speaking is to practice in front of a mirror or record yourself. When you practice in front of a mirror, you can observe your body language, facial expressions, and overall presence. It helps you become more aware of how you're presenting yourself. Recording yourself is another powerful tool. When you watch the recording, you'll notice things you might not have been aware of, like filler words, pacing, or gestures. It's a great way to see where you can improve. Get feedback from a trusted friend or colleague. If possible, practice your speech in front of a trusted friend, family member, or colleague who can give you constructive feedback. Ask them to focus on things like clarity, engagement, and pacing. Getting feedback from someone else can provide valuable insights and help you improve in areas you might not have noticed. Join a speaking group. If you want to take your public speaking to the next level, consider joining a group like Toastmasters or another speaking club. These groups provide a supportive environment where you can practice speaking regularly and get feedback from others who are also looking to improve. Practicing regularly and getting feedback are key to becoming a more confident and effective speaker. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, and over time, public speaking will become less daunting and more empowering. And that brings us to the end of part 2 of our series on overcoming challenges as an introvert. I hope you're feeling more confident about public speaking and how to approach it in a way that plays to your introvert strengths. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways from today's episode. Calm your nerves with deep breathing, grounding techniques, and visualization. Play to your strengths as an introvert. Focus on thoughtfulness, empathy, and substance over style. Structure your speech with a strong opening, clear main points, and a memorable conclusion. Practice and get feedback to improve your skills over time. Remember, public speaking is a skill that anyone can develop, and you don't have to change who you are to be successful. Your unique introvert qualities can make you a powerful and engaging speaker. In the next episode of this series, we're going to tackle another common challenge for introverts: navigating social events. We'll explore how to navigate large gatherings and enjoy yourself without feeling drained or overwhelmed. If social events make you anxious, you won't want to miss this one. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss part 3. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to public speaking? Let's keep the conversation going and support each other. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and remember, you've got this. Until next time, Vital Visionaries, stay true to yourself and keep sharing your voice.